Guys, my name is Asirvo, and it is me answering 100 questions that I know that teenagers ask themselves. What's the question I want to answer today? The question says, my father insists that I study law, but I don't want to. What can I do? How do I persuade him? Now, the challenge I have with the question is not either that your father doesn't want you to study another course apart from law, but are you trying to avoid studying law because you're academically lazy or you have a genuine reason? Now, you must understand that sometimes parents want to influence people's future or children's future because, in a way, they believe they know how to chart your future more than you do. And I would want to agree to a certain extent. Why? Now, if I actually am a practicing professor of medicine, I would also like to leave a legacy or leave a lineage of people who actually study medicine or who are professors. The same thing with certain particular courses of profession. For example, somebody who also is a lawyer or is a barrister, he would want maybe one of his generation to study that course. You know what? There are some courses that we say that they have what we call God complex. This God complex is a feeling that they have that they are larger than life or larger than humans. And so sometimes parents want their children to belong to that category. So if it is for that reason, I could want to agree with your father to an extent. But if it is because you have bigger or higher purpose beyond the law your father wants you to study, not because you are lazy, then you should find a way to persuade him. Now, if I were you, it's either I get academic counsel or an academic guardian to speak with my parents and let them understand why I want to study another course except from law, or why I would prefer to study another course except from medicine. But see, if it's because you're lazy or you don't want to study, then I don't think it's a very good reason to escape the route. Now, the parents also know that by studying law, it also gives you leverage for life. Meaning that probably they have a chamber where they practice the profession. They might want to, after he grows old and dies, wants to leave it into the hands of someone who can expand the business. Or if your father is a medicine professor, the same thing applies to some other profession, so to say. What am I saying? If your reason is because you have a definite purpose or you have something you want to pursue, then I would say you should pursue it. Now let me look at the instance. I had a boy that I tutored when he was about maybe 14 or 15 years old. He was about to choose theatre arts as a course to study, and his father came to me. His father was a pastor and told me that he would not want to study theatre arts for different reasons. I don't know, maybe he wanted him to go into missionary work as a pastor. He called me after some months being unable to pursue the spirit. He called me and told me to speak to his dad and mom. And yes, I was able to convince them. Today, the guy studied theatre arts and is a graduate of the Bafemi University. What am I saying? This young boy understood beyond doing what his parents wanted him to do. He understood his purpose for life. And I can tell you that he's doing well with the profession he has studied. In fact, he has done several screen movies and several live plays that I've seen or I've watched. So what am I saying? My answer to your question is this. If you have a purpose or you have something you think is bigger than what your father is proposing, fine. Push for it. Get an academic counselor to speak to your parents. And yes, pray about it. Pray that the Lord touches the hand of your parents so that they can be convinced that you believe in something that is bigger than law or medicine, so to say. If I've answered your question, you can check me up on Facebook, check me on WhatsApp, or check me up on Instagram. And any other question you can ask me, I will give you answers to it. Till I see you again, take care.